Are you out there?
The voice came from inside the old trunk. A frantic pounding accompanied it.
Ev, are you there? I can't hear you counting.
It was Everett Drake's little sister, Bea. He'd locked her in the trunk, daring her to escape in less than a minute.
Ev, answer me!
He didn't even hear her. The soggy London sky seeped rain like water from a sponge, spilling dreariness down the window panes and giving Everett an excuse to stay inside the vicarage reading. Vicarages are built to house ministers and their families. This one was especially drab, save for the turret some builder added as an afterthought. It was a bit like dressing up an ugly dog in a colourful sweater, and the effect wasn't entirely convincing. Still, the room at the top of the turret was just castle-like enough for all Everett and Bea's imagined escapades, and just enough removed from the rest of the residence to discourage the housekeeper, Mrs. Crimp, from monitoring their activities. Avoiding her attention was always preferable. This particular day, Everett sprawled out on the floor upstairs, chin resting in his hands, engrossed in one of his favourite comic books, Max Courageous, Into Tomorrow. The daring adventurer, Maximilian Courageous, or MC as Everett liked to call him, was piloting his ship through the galaxy to escape. The trunk lid flew open, and Bea burst forth, hands above her head, cheeks flushed with exertion, and hair a defiant mess.
Was that a record?
She lowered her arms and eyed her brother with suspicion.
You weren't even counting, were you?
Ever since finding a biography of Harry Houdini at the library, Bea had been determined to learn the skills of an escape artist. Ambitious as that may be for an 8-year-old, she kept asking Everett to tie her shoes together or trap her in her room or lock her in the old trunk. There was a nice way to cheat when breaking out of the trunk, because she was too smart to purposely trap herself anywhere. But her brother didn't need to know how she did it. She had developed her very own rules of escape, number 1 of which was to make your brother play his part. Despite her glowering, Everett didn't look up. "Sorry, you didn't give me enough time." He tried to sound apologetic. "I'm pretty sure that was your fastest yet." All in all, it had begun as a typical day in the vicarage. Some people might imagine growing up next door to a church would be a dreadful bore, that having a vicar for a father sounds like the opposite of fun. But Everett and Bea's father was the Reverend Marcus Drake, and he was anything but dull. Marcus was the creator of the Max Courageous comics. His lifelike illustrations brought the stories vividly to life. It's fair to say comic books are an unlikely hobby for a clergyman, yet Marcus saw it as a calling. He hoped his stories would inspire young people, especially his own children. "You can have greater influence than you know," he would often tell Everett and Bea. "Doing the right thing takes real bravery and integrity. Your actions matter more than any superheroes." Everett found that hard to believe. He didn't feel very strong, let alone brave. He couldn't picture himself making any difference in the world, the way his father had, fighting Nazis during the war and doing church work ever since. "I wish I could show you what I see," Marcus told him. "Because you're a remarkable boy, Everett. You're interested in the world, and it's far more meaningful to be interested than to try to be interesting." Everett wasn't quite sure what he meant by that. He longed to be clever like MC, to do important things and live out great stories. Which is why he often retreated to the turret, to lose himself in his comic books. This afternoon, however, Bea had her own plans for her brother, and reading was not on the agenda. She stood in the trunk preparing to give him a scolding, even MC would fear. But just as she opened her mouth, their father's voice boomed up the stairs. "Everett, Bea, come down and say goodbye." Bea hopped out of the trunk, slammed the lid shut, and raced towards the stairs.
"Beat you to the bottom,"